Hi, everyone. It's Lily and my co-host Jules, and welcome back to another episode of Can Talks. Today we have one of the newest swings on Broadway, Dabria Aguilar, and we're gonna have a fun time talking to her. But before we get into that, let's go over some announcements.
All right, announcements, my favorite time of the week. Okay, so if you're living under a rock, you might have not seen that Jay is coming back as Baby Doll. I'm so excited. So excited. We love having OGs come back, and he starts on February 6th. It's gonna be really exciting. Also, in other news, sad news again. I feel like all I give you guys is sad news. The Australian cast, he's in 1 week, and so does Casey, Liv, E Groove, and David. Not ready for it. 1 week, it's gonna fly by. We are not ready. Anyway, that's all the announcements I have for you this week. Not as many as last week, so
Yeah, so those are your announcements. So before we hop on with Dabria, just a little bit of a outline of her life. So she previously was in the Radio City Christmas Spectacular as an ensemble member. She grew up doing dance competitions. She'll probably talk about that. And a cool fact, she was Miss South Carolina Teen in 2021. So that's pretty cool. We'll definitely be talking about that as well. So, we're super excited to have her on the podcast. We're also super excited for her upcoming Broadway debut. It's very exciting. She's very young as well, so that'll be it's gonna be so great. And
I love a good Broadway debut.
yeah, and if you haven't seen her on Instagram, go check her out. I think it's Dabria.Aguilar. And she's an incredible dancer. As a dancer myself, I'm just like her legs, her feet, I need them. Um, anyway, we're very excited for that. And without further ado, here is the interview with Dabria. Hi, so we're with Dabria. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fabulous. How are y'all?
We are doing amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on our third episode
Yes, I'm so
here.
excited to be the third. Whoop whoop.
All right. So, our first question
Uh-huh.
is how was your audition process for the show?
Yeah. So I auditioned, let's see now. I want to say it was May of last year. And I just got the call through my agents that casting had chosen my headshot. So I went in and we did a section from Bad Romance, the heel section, and I've known for a very long time this was my dream job. This was the dream show. But when I got into the room and it was Amy teaching it, Amy Quanbeck, who's our dance captain, I was like, it was like love at first sight, or love at first hand motion, whatever. But we did that combo. There was some cuts, and then we had to sing, and I made it through that cut as well. And then there was a partnering section the very next day. And I'm a huge lover of partnering and being thrown around, lifts, all that kind of stuff. So it felt very not natural because it was so hard, but it felt very thrilling and just exciting to do, which I knew was something that I was looking for. Um, and yeah, and then I got the call, like I think it was a week or two later that I had gotten chosen for training week. And I did training week with a bunch of friends. Jordan Wynn, who's on in the cast now. We did that together. Nick Burridge, too, who's dance captain. We did that all together. And then it wasn't until this October that I got the call that I would be joining the Broadway company. And I was sobbing, of course.
That's so exciting. I
Yeah, yeah,
love that.
yeah.
That sounds like
It's quite the journey.
the audition alone sounds like quite the journey for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It was a hard one. I have so many pictures of me like dripping in sweat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love my life.
I
Yeah.
am tiny, so I totally relate to like loving to be tossed around. I did like a
Yeah.
jazz routine during a summer intensive, and I quite literally was just tossed around the entire routine and loved every second
Yep.
of it.
Well, yeah. So so I'm 5'1" and very small. So I am always the one that's getting thrown around, and I feel like you understand this. You grow to love it, and then now it's just like such an exciting part of dance that I'm like, anytime there's a partnering section, I'm like, I want to be in it.
Yeah, I'm 4'11", so
We're
understandable.
yes.
Alrighty, so the next question that I have for you
Mhm.
is, how are you feeling about your upcoming Broadway debut?
Oh, I literally almost started crying in rehearsal today. I'm so excited. The dance team in general has just been so good about preparing me and a few of the newbies joining. And like I said, this was something that I've dreamed about and that I've known was my dream for a very long time. So to see it so close, yet it feels like still so far away. It's just unreal, and I can't help but like literally tear up every single time I think about it. But I'm just so excited to like get on the stage and be on there with the original company, and it's hard to put words to it because it is just like an indescribable feeling that like I'm about to make my Broadway debut. That does not feel real.
I love that. I love that. And you're joining at like such a crazy time. You know, we got Derek Clennan's coming back, Boy George is
Yes,
joining. So
yes,
you're like joining with so many amazing people and people
yeah.
leaving and coming in. So I think it's like a really
Mhm.
cool time for you as well.
It definitely is. I will say that I'm joining with two people who were previously on tour, and then yes, Derek, Boy George, and all of our dynamics and rehearsals is like it's so fun, like such a fun time. Never feels like work, which is nice.
So obviously your Broadway debut. What is I like to ask everyone this
Mhm,
question just in general.
mhm.
What is like your all-time favorite Broadway show?
Is it cheesy if I say Moulin Rouge?
No,
No.
because I tell you, we're gonna say the same thing.
Okay, guys, like I just think that the choreography is and the storyline on top of it. I mean, that's just like to die for. But yeah, this one has just it's literally always been my favorite,
We're,
even
we're right
before.
behind you.
Yes. Okay. Well, then there we go.
I've seen the show like 12 times,
I've
Oh
seen
my
it
and
goodness.
5, so yeah.
Oh my goodness.
we'll
That's a
be
lot of
back. We'll be back next month, and yeah, we're coming back. We're both coming together, and we're gonna go watch it again.
Oh, awesome. Well, I hope I'm on. Like, you have to let me know what days you're coming.
We will.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously you're a fan of the show, so what is your favorite song?
Ooh. To sing or like to dance?
Either or
Or both?
or both.
Overall? Okay. Let's see. I love to sing your song, the reprise with all of us together. I think that's so fun and just beautiful. I know. It's heart-wrenching. It's so
My
good.
heart.
Yeah. Sorry if you can hear my radiator too. It's really cold here, so it's like going crazy. But to dance, Roxanne. Yeah.
Roxanne's such a classic. The dance in Roxanne is just phenomenal. Blows us away every time.
Yes, the amount of like equal energy it takes from both parties to make it both look difficult, look enthralling and like sexy all at the same time. It's impeccable and it's so fun to do. So I can't wait to go on stage.
When I saw the movie for the first time, that was like the one scene that I was like, I'm so excited to see this on stage.
Yes, yes,
Oh, the
same.
movie. I love the movie too. I don't know about you, but I grew up watching the movie. So I'm guessing you had seen the movie before you saw the show?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I loved it. I was such a big fan, and then when I found out it was on Broadway, I was like, well, guess I gotta go see it.
Yes, I
Guess
gotta
I gotta go.
go.
So I know we kind of mentioned it a moment ago, but how are rehearsals going? You know, are they you're
Yeah.
obviously learning all this stuff because you're covering, I guess, how many tracks do you think you're covering? Or do you know?
I'll be covering all heels ensemble, and then but right now I'm in my fourth week and I've learned two, and I fully tucked both of them, like tucked both of them on stage. And then we have our put in like full company cast, a full company rehearsal this coming up Friday. So that'll be like the big moment to debut one of or I'll be doing one of my tracks and this put in. But rehearsals have been honestly like so much fun again, like rehearsing with so many new people and obviously Derek who's coming back. It's so much fun and so amazing. Like everyone that's involved is so talented. I still pinch myself when I'm in the room. I'm like, how am I in this room right now? Does not seem right. But also our team dance and dance captains are the best at delivering and just showing us the ropes. And this is my first time swinging also, so I'm like literally learning from what I believe is the best, which is Amy and Alexa DeBar, who swung on tour. So getting to learn from them is just so much fun, and it's an honor.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh. It makes me miss performing, honestly. Like it
Yes,
really
yes,
does.
yeah.
Um, so so obviously like you've been dancing for as long as you can remember.
Yes.
You've been in dance competitions throughout your life.
Mhm. Yeah.
So was it your dream to be on Broadway?
This is a funny question because I think growing up I was always asked like what do you want to do? And my answer was always I want to do everything. Like I want to do it all. Um and I will say somebody who has been a big advocate for me for that is my mom. Because people will always try to put you in a bubble of whether you want to go concert commercial or whether you want to do contemporary or jazz, even in colleges, like that's a choice you have to make. And that was never something that I saw particularly for myself. Hence why I didn't attend a college. Because I never felt drawn to just one specific style. And so yes, a part of me always wanted to be on Broadway, but a part of me also wants to do so many things. So to move to New York and to start kind of accomplishing that has like number one, I feel so lucky that I've like had the opportunities presented to me to even like audition and be in the room. But to have like done a lot of it too, it's crazy that like literally probably like 7-year-old me like would have said that she wanted to do everything that like I'm doing right now. It's just a surreal moment, like very full circle.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was gonna ask you like what if you weren't doing Broadway or dance, what would you do? But basically
If
just
I wasn't dancing, okay, this is a funny story. If when I was deciding if I was going to go to college or not, I had applied to many colleges, some not being for dance because I had considered leaving dance and not dancing anymore after high school. And I was very interested in like exercise science, kinesiology, and the works behind or the works of your body. And I dance obviously got me into that because of so many injuries and just how everything works. So if I weren't dancing, I would definitely be pursuing something along those lines or something along like fashion or like designing. I've always been interested in that kind of stuff too. But yeah.
love
That's
that.
so funny because I did the opposite of what you did, and I quit because of a knee injury.
Oh,
In yeah, when I was 17, yeah, I was a dancer at Cincinnati Ballet for like
work.
3 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Congrats.
Yeah, so it was intense, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, nah. And then I was like, oh, like maybe like kinesiology, physical
Yeah.
therapy, because of obviously the all the injuries and just knowing about the human body. And then I quickly
Right.
realized that I am not a math or science person. So
Yeah, there's that part to it.
so then I went the journalism route and
Oh,
stuck with
nice.
journalism, which is now why I'm doing a
Yeah.
podcast.
Awesome. Well, that is so cool. And I think that it's so interesting as dancers. Like we have this outlet of creativity. And once you take dance away, it's like, well, what do I do with all this creativity? What do I do with all these thoughts and all these like things that I want to portray, but or portray that I don't want to say? So journalism, that has always been intriguing to me, but that's so cool that you got to pursue it and everything.
For sure. So, I'm trying to like go through her questions, but I've been
Yeah.
jumping around. Um, so let's talk about because I know you were Miss South Carolina Teen in 2021. Do you
Yes,
want
I
to
was.
just talk about a little bit about that and your process and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's always so fun for me to talk about because it feels like so long ago, but it really wasn't. And the way that I stumbled upon the pageant world is very funny. But I had competed in a high school pageant. that my grandma really wanted me to do. So I did it, and I was going to try on dresses, and this lady was like, you should really compete in, it was a state pageant called Miss South Carolina Teen USA. So it's under the Miss Universe system. And she ended up convincing me to do it because I had all the outfits already, and it was in my hometown. It was literally a 15-minute drive from my house, and it was a 2-day thing. And I was like, I get to be on stage, I get to wear heels, and I get to wear a dress. Like, of course I want to do that. Why not? Um, so I did that, and I ended up coming in first runner up. The girl who won, I guess, is Sloan. She's now one of my best friends. And somebody sitting in the audience there was like, had reached out and asked me to compete for the Miss America system in Miss South Carolina Teen, which was 3 months later. And this one, obviously, for Miss America, you have a talent portion, so I got to dance, and then I had the dresses still, had the interview outfit still. And this one was a scholarship organization, so a lot more paperwork and stuff was involved, and I got to have like a social impact initiative or a platform statement, which I got to talk about something that was super passionate to me and that I really cared about. So immediately I was like, yes, I will do it. And for me, it was just another opportunity to kind of push myself to do something a little bit uncomfortable, comfortable in the same sense that I got to be on stage, and that's where I feel at home. And I think that portrayed to the audience because I ended up winning, and I was not expecting to win that at all, because Miss South Carolina is one of those competitions where it's like people spend years and years and years trying to win. And it was something that I knew very little about other than watching it on YouTube and like my dance teachers talking about it all my life, because the talent is just so intriguing, and it's Miss America. I mean, who doesn't want to like be on that kind of stage? And yeah, and so I spent the year traveling all over South Carolina. Went to Miss America's Teen, which was our nationals, and I got top 11 in top dance. And thankfully, I received a ton of scholarship money, and I'm in school right now for free because of the Miss America and Miss South Carolina Scholarship Organization. I feel like I'm talking so fast because I'm so excited about this. But yeah, one of the main things that I loved and that I got to take away from that was how important it is to like give back to your community and what a voice you have. And I just loved sharing that with others and mixing that, intertwining that with dance. And yeah, it was super fun.
That's so fun. I mean,
Yeah.
full disclosure, I watched because like the full thing is on YouTube, so I watched it, and I was
Yeah.
just like, I can find Dabria because like she's just going all out on the dance portion.
That part. When we had any of like the opening number stuff, I was like, this is my moment. Like I get to dance.
And
But yeah.
your contemporary routine was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I loved that piece. It was so hard, but so much fun.
Your leg extensions, I was like, yes, get
Yeah, I don't even know
it.
if I can still do everything that I did in that. I don't know how I did that.
I definitely cannot do everything that I could do as a teen, so
Right, right, exactly. Love growing up.
Okay,
yeah.
so I have another question.
Okay.
It kind of relates to dancing. What advice would you give to people who are either A, wanting to dance, or who are dancers, or B, people who are wanting to like basically be on Broadway in their like dream
Mhm.
show?
Yeah. Number one, like, don't ever put a limit on how far you think you should dream for yourself. Because you never know what opportunities are going to present themselves in front of you, and you never know what situations you're going to get yourself into by making one small choice. I know for me, I had the hardest time deciding between moving to LA and moving to New York. And by moving to New York, I was just presented with so many relationships and connections that have led me here. So really each small choice you take is one step closer to whatever you consider your dream. So yeah, don't put a limit on that for yourself. If you see yourself, you want to do something, put in the work, um, do what you think it takes. And I believe like you'll get there. You just have to work extremely hard. Keep your eyes focused too on something that you prioritize. So for me, like I'm very strong with my faith. And so I always kept my eyes on that. And that really helped me from not deter off this road of hard work and just determination. Like, not, I want to say booking because there's so many other important things that are amazing about dance that's beyond booking. But so many relationships and stuff just are also valuable. And to anybody who wants to pursue Broadway, there are so many resources, number one. So many resources, like whether that's online, thanks to technology, and like in New York, I would just say do your research. Find people that you trust, find people that believe in you as much as they should. Definitely take every no, take every learning curve and put it in your toolbox because it will come in handy. I know for me, I got a lot of no's. I got a lot of not callbacks. And I think that's not something that you should take personally. You just weren't fit for that job. And whenever you enter those rooms, you have to take something away from it. So with each audition, even though I was told no, I learned something and I remember putting it in my back pocket and saying, okay, well, next time at next audition, I know X, Y, and Z. So it's just utilizing your resources, even the no's. The no's are resources for sure. So yeah.
I
Yeah,
love that.
me too. Um, so, hold on.
I'm sorry, Lily. I was jumping around a little
I'm
bit.
jumping around too. Um,
Were there a lot of questions asked?
There
yeah,
was actually quite a few questions asked. Yeah, we had to like skim down a little bit as well on the questions
yeah.
asked.
Um, so can you just because I think I know I saw you shadowed, I think it was Caitlin Mesh.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of explain what you do when you shadow someone?
Yeah. So for me, my first track that I learned was Heel One, which was Caitlin Mesh's track. And
Great
um
track.
great track. Phenomenal.
I
Oh
call it
my
the
gosh.
Duke
And then
track.
watching
I call it the Duke
the,
track
the
because
Duke track. Yep.
the big
Yep.
thing in the opening. Yeah.
Yes. It's so fun. Um Yeah, so when we get to Shadow, we are trailing backstage with them, and this is learning all the backstage choreography. So learning how each change is done, where the changes are done. There's also a ton of props moving, so we have to, know where we can stand and can't stand, so we're not seen by the audience, and also don't get hit by props. And for me, that was it was a lot to take in the first time because you learn so much on stage, and then you're like, oh my gosh, there's just as much choreography backstage as there is on stage. But the wardrobe team and everybody backstage, everybody all around is so good at their job and so good at what they do that it's efficient, and learning it was almost harder to me, like learning that than learning the choreography. But yeah, so I just got to follow her around every time she exited the stage. I would be standing there waiting for her. And then we'd run and go to wherever she was changing next, and I'd watch from side stage, watch them do their performance, and then yeah, just kind of like hung onto her hip the whole day. But she's the best. She's so much fun.
That sounds like the best time ever.
Yeah, it was so fun. I was like, and you get to be a part, like be with the company, so it's fun to talk to everybody and see everybody's little bits backstage. It's fun.
That is awesome. I love that. Love, like I said, Heel One is like one of my favorite tracks to watch.
What's your all-time favorite track to watch?
I think Heel One for the females, and then I do love F9 for
Me
the
too.
males. I like
F9
F9, flat
The
nine.
work.
painter,
The
because
painter.
the
Yeah.
second rehearsal scene just in the back.
I know, and he's just like
He's
going,
just
going to
going and all
town.
that drama's going on, and he's just
So good.
and
Yeah.
it's a good one. We really love our, like I said, we've seen it so many times. So we it's fun when you see it so much, you can pay more attention to little things
Yes.
going on in the background. Because I
Hmm.
think a lot of people, especially when it's your first time, so much going on. But when you've seen it so much, you can pay attention. You see little things, and it's little things, and you're like,
Yes,
oh, like that's really cool. Like I never noticed that before. And the painter, love it.
exactly. I
My
will say
favorite.
that's one of the things that has always drawn me towards the show because there's so much going on at all times that every time you go, you're going to see something different. And I think that especially when there's like swings on, which there's swings on all the time and stuff. So, and everybody's like a creative, just genius when they're on stage. So it's so cool to just observe little nuances and little things you didn't see before, like F9 painting in the back.
My favorite was like, well, he's coming back now, but Derek Klena and Roxanne,
Yeah.
he used to shout like no. And there was like those little things, and and now he's coming
Yeah.
back. I'm like, I'm hoping he's gonna do it again because I loved it. But it was like
Ah,
it's little
well,
things. And like you
yes.
said, it's so much always happening in the show, and it's just
Right.
you watch it. And the first time, I mean, you ask any fan, the first time you watch it, you kind of black out a little bit because it's
You
just so
definitely do.
much, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what just happened? Like, what did I
Yeah.
just sit through? So,
Yeah.
um, it's great. But Lily, what other questions do you have before we move on to fan questions?
Oh, I was just gonna ask personally, just like as a dancer, and
Yeah.
now obviously a dancer on Broadway, how do you keep yourself healthy?
Yeah, that's a hard one. So I just came from Dancing with Radio City, where I was dealing with a little bit of an injury there. So taking care of your body's been something that I've tried to prioritize a lot more recently. I've always been a big advocate of cross training, so I've worked out like outside of dance my entire life. I grew up with two brothers too, so I was always lifting with them. And then once moving to New York, I got into Pilates, which centers my body and kind of keeps my headspace in a great place too. But definitely like finding exercises and finding things that are strengthening my shins specifically because I dealt with shin splints for a little while that was pretty painful. But we also have a great PT team at Moulin Rouge and with most jobs, I will say. So really listening to them and listening to your body too, like taking the rest that you need is so important because only you know what's going on inside your body and only you can feel it. So just staying in tune with that, it's just been a big thing for me because I never want to take time off. I never want to like call out. So it's just important to stay in tune with your body for longevity, especially.
Yeah, for sure. I know, I'm not gonna like name any names, but like one of my friends from dance had like she couldn't go all the way down on the splits at that age or at that part in her life yet, and she tried it and like just pulled her inner thighs and just yeah, and my mom always told me, listen to your body, like if it hurts and it's a bad hurt, don't do it. And that's just
Yeah.
always kind of been in my
Yeah.
head. So yeah. And then
Yeah.
one more question before we get to fan questions.
Uh-huh.
I just want to know, do you have like any one or any kind of life event that you went through that you want to shout out for getting to where you are now?
Um, oh, there's a few. Um, let's see. Well, I will say, like I mentioned earlier, I when I was applying, I graduated high school early, so I was 17, and I had my eyes kind of set on one dance college that I was like dead set on going to. I was die hard, wanted to get in there, and I didn't make a call back, didn't get in. Now I live right behind the building. And I walk past it every day. I go to my dream job. So, like I said kind of earlier, every no that you're gonna get is doesn't doesn't determine your worth, and you can't let that determine your value as a person, as a dancer. Like I just wasn't right for their program. I wasn't right for that time, and that was not my path. And that was hard to accept, and that was a hard pill to swallow. And of course, I was devastated. But in the end, like still dancing on Moulin Rouge. So I will say, I'm not saying that college doesn't do amazing things because it does, and it's still the number one college for dance, but for a reason. But your path is going to look different than others, and accept that and stay true to that. But it doesn't make you less valuable or less valuable in any way, shape, or form. Just means that your journey is going to look a little different.
I love that. That's like such
Yeah.
a, the whole like the nose and it's, what is it? Like my mom always says to me, like, one door closes and another one
Yep.
opens.
And another
So,
door opens. Exactly.
and look at
That's
that.
so
And
right.
for you, it was the Al Hirschfeld door
Yep.
that
It sure
opened for
was. That
you.
door slung
Just
open.
whoop.
I love
That's right.
that theater too. Like just
Oh,
the
beautiful
design on the
theater.
outside and the inside. Oh, it's so good.
It's the best.
Oh
It's the
my
best.
goodness, beautiful.
Fan questions?
Yes. So one question we got is, do you know when you're going to be making your debut? Some people want to know so they can be there.
February 7th, I'm supposed to be going on. But I am a swing, so things can change, things can get turned around, but February 7th is my planned debut as of today.
Love that.
As heel 3.
Heel free, you said?
Heel 3, yes. So I'll be flying in the air.
That's so
Ooh,
exciting.
so exciting. I love that.
Yes.
Need to see them. Ding. And
Yep.
this is the time of their life. They're a bit daunting, I must expect, for you guys to be flying in the
Oh,
air.
it was I'm scared of heights, so I had to get over that real fast.
Oh no. Okay. I love
Super
that.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, so have you had costume fittings? Okay. So what is your favorite costume to wear?
Pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-show is stunning. Like just gorgeous. I cannot wait to wear that with an audience around.
Those pre-show, they are beautiful. I mean, all the
Mhm.
costumes are just absolutely
Oh,
gorgeous. They,
yeah,
oh my goodness, they even like I said, when you've seen it so many times, they still blow you away. But yeah, pre-show, oh, pre-show is such a good one. I
it
love
is.
pre-show.
It's gorgeous. And then I mean, I haven't seen my can colors yet, so I don't know. But can's so hard not to love. So I feel like that'll be up there. And then Roxanne, that's an obvious love. Oh my gosh, how did I forget this? My Bad Romance or Backstage Romance. That one, that's probably my number two after opening.
I'm excited to see it. I
Yeah.
really hope. I hope you're on the weekend that we come by. I'm coming for like the whole weekend, so I'm
Yeah,
like
I'm only coming for one
manifesting.
show. I'm seeing Little Shop um on the Saturday, and then I'm joining Jules and our friends on the Sunday. So
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Well,
myself and
what date is it?
we'll be going, well, it's President's Day weekend, so Jules is going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will be going
Or
just the Sunday evening
okay.
show.
the 18th.
Gotcha.
So she'll be there on the 18th, and then
Oh,
I'm gonna be there
okay.
the 16th, 17th, and 18th because I have no control and I have to
I
come to
love
this
it.
show so many times. But I am breaking it up. I'm going to see Sweeney Todd. I have to go see alumni
Yes.
and Sweeney. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'll break it
Yes.
up.
Yeah,
Go see
And I'm
that.
a big Lee fan, so I was like, I gotta see Little Shop because
you
Derek
have to.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
So,
sure.
So
Well, we know our here we'll have to meet up at the stage door because I'm sure I'll be there. If I'm not on
absolutely.
stage, I'll definitely be backstage. So
I was gonna say normally you guys like because you guys have to hang out like backstage just in case something happens.
yeah. Hmm.
Because there's been mid show swing-ons. I've not witnessed one yet. Maybe one day. But
Maybe
I
one.
know. I mean, hopefully like it's for nothing
Hopefully
bad.
not,
Like
actually, but
but like I don't want anyone to get hurt or anything, but
you know.
I know they
But I understand
happen.
what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Um Lily, do you have any more questions?
yeah. I feel like you already might have answered this, but just describe how you felt when you first got the job.
Ah. All okay. So I was in rehearsals for Radio City, and I know by this point that if my agent calls me, that it means it's really good news. And I happened to be on like I think I was on lunch break, and I was in the room kind of with everybody, and I got the call and I couldn't answer it, so I ran outside into this like alley, like this literal alleyway, and I answered it, and he was like, "Are you sitting down?" And I was like, "No." Then he told me he was like, "You were just given, the contract for at first it was vacation swing that I was offered, and so I was still obviously elated, and I immediately just burst into tears. And a few of my friends, my fairly new friends too, because I had just met a lot of them at Radio City, witnessed this. Two of them did, and I was just like jumping up and down, like sobbing. And then I called my mom right afterwards, and she was like, I think I posted on my Instagram, but it's the very last screenshot of our FaceTime, and she was sobbing like just a mess. And then later that night I got to tell my dad and my brothers all on FaceTime too. And my mom was there too, of course. But it was just one of those things that I never thought that I was like actually going to tell them. Like you always dream of that moment, but for it to actually happen is just like still it doesn't feel real. And like I'm fully in rehearsal. But yeah, it was one of the best feelings ever for sure.
Yeah, that was me. So I got to be Claire in the Nutcracker with Cincinnati Ballet, and so
So awesome.
yeah, it was really fun. And that's basically kind of like what happened. Well, my mom
Yeah.
doesn't have a cell phone, first of all. So I couldn't, and I was in the middle of class. I was in the middle of algebra class or geometry or something when I found out.
Oh,
And I started freaking out. And I told my friend next to me, and she started freaking out. And then I apologized to my teacher. And then and then I texted my dad or something like that, and he was just like, "Oh, did you tell your mommy?" I was like, "Well, no, I'm in school." She
how
was
would
picking
I?
me up. Yeah, she was picking me up to go take me to get my flu shot.
Oh, work.
And And I was just like, you might want to roll up the windows because I knew she was either going to cry or scream or both. And
Yeah.
she did both. And I told her I got Claire and the Nutcracker, and I think she screamed and then started crying all the way to the doctor's office, where then I told her, you have to stop crying. They're going to think something is wrong with me.
That is so sweet though. Oh my goodness. Kind of similar along the same lines of you. My mom was in the middle of a business. Like my mom is the director of accounting at the Medical University of South Carolina, and she was in the middle of a meeting, and I'd called her, and the first time she didn't answer, and I was like, "No, you have to answer like right now. Like you have to answer." And I'd never say that obviously, so she hung up her meeting that she was running, and she answered it. And of course, she was very happy that she answered it. So, and then she got back on the call and she was crying. And then she told
Oh,
everybody before I could even tell anyone. So
My goodness, that's so
it was
sweet.
funny.
I love proud
Yeah,
parent
it was.
moments.
I
Proud
know.
parent
So
moments.
wholesome.
Yeah. They were super excited.
Alrighty. Do you have any other questions, Jules?
I think that's all the questions I have. Yeah, that's all the fan questions as well. I think most of them.
Yay.
Yeah. Unless Lily, do
Awesome.
you have anything else to add or anything you want to add, Dabria?
Just thank you guys for asking me to be on here. It was such an honor and I love talking to y'all and I can't wait to see y'all in person here soon.
Yeah,
That's
we're
exciting.
really excited, and like I said, thank you so much again for coming because I know it's rehearsals are
Oh,
long and they're tiring, and like you said,
yeah.
so thank you so much for taking time out of your
Of course.
busy schedule to
Yeah.
talk with us. But we're really excited for you to make your Broadway
Yay.
debut. I think it's going to be amazing, and
Thank you. Thank you.
be there. Well, we're not on the debut, but we'll be at
Um,
the Al Hirschfeld, and we will.
We'll be
yes,
there
I
in
will be,
spirit.
and yes, but thank you guys so much for all the support too. I know that all the cast and the company appreciates any kind of support that we get. So thank you from everybody for sure.
Of course, yeah. No, we love supporting you guys. You guys are a great cast, and you guys really work hard. So we love any time we get to like stage door moments and all that, just to like thank you guys for what you guys do. So
That is
Yeah.
so kind. Well,
I
thank
always
y'all.
say the thing that like brings me back to the show is just the cast. Just I think you guys are like the most interactive cast that I've ever like
Really?
experienced, really, honestly. And it's absolutely amazing. Just to like experience the show, but then also meet the actors who make the show what it is and just have like the one of the most welcoming environments, honestly.
I
So
can attest to that. Yes, one of the most welcoming environments for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very like Lily just said, like the thing that keeps me coming back. I mean, the show's great. I love, like I said, I've loved Moulin Rouge since I was younger.
Right.
Great stories, but also just like you guys, the cast in general, are just so sweet and welcoming. You know, you feel I've made so many friends from this show who are
Yeah,
I consider like my best friends now. People who we meet up in the city and then we just have so much fun together and go to the show. And
that's so
um
cool.
it's yeah, I mean, I love New York. I love coming to the city. Anytime I get the chance to come to NYC, I'm like, take me.
I'm
I
there.
I'm there.
I love it.
um
Cool.
but yeah, and like I said, you really fun time you're starting. So I'm
Yeah,
excited for
very
you.
sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I will talk to you guys soon and thank you all again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Have a great night.
You
Bye, you
too.
too. Oh, she's so sweet.
So sweet. How lovely. Well, that was Dabria. I'm so excited for her to make her
Me too.
debut. Broadway debuts are just one of my favorite things. It's just people getting that moment and that, like she said, that was her dream role as well. Like, how amazing is your Broadway debut to be your dream role as well? So,
And it's just so exciting just to, and I'm sure like the entire cast is probably just so excited.
yeah,
It's
we love new people. We love it. And vice versa. Old people coming back, OGs coming back, new people joining. It's so much fun to see people join the ropes and be part of this amazing show.
for
Which
sure.
I tell you, me and Lily, We're ready for our trip in a few.
We're so
We may or
excited.
may not be counting down the days.
I definitely have a countdown on my whiteboard in my office. No shame.
Absolutely. We are ready to take New York City by storm. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this time, when we're at Moulin Rouge, we're actually going to know each other. And you know what's really
Exactly.
fun? We were just talking about this. There was something that happened on the same night that you and me were there again. Oh, it was our first Be Real. My first Be Real was
Oh
there we
yeah.
go. My first ever, we were talking about Be Reals earlier, and my first ever Be Real was done at the same show that Lily was at. Didn't know each other. It was my first and only Be Real. I've actually never done a Be Real
But you
since.
had seen the show. I just staged door that day. So
Absolutely. I was there double show day. I was like, whoop whoop, 2 show day.
yes,
And I finished it
I
off with Can
was.
Can.
Oh yeah, I sat. Well, no, I saw Can Can in October. What am I saying? Um, and we'll be setting Can Can again
We
in
love Can
February.
Can. Can Can is amazing. And you know what I've noticed? I've only ever set Can Can when Derek Klin is Christian. So maybe it's like a
Oh
thing. Like
wow.
it's
Yeah.
Derek. Derek just makes me sit Can Can. So
I mean,
take my money, I
truly
guess.
felt that. Truly felt that.
But anyway, this has been a great episode. So thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of Can Can Talks. And we will be back next week.
Yes. Bye, everyone.